Look, I'm going to have a little bit of end-of-year fun with you in a minute, so stay tuned for that. But before we get into the festive spirit, you've written an article about something far more serious. All the politically savvy people these days, and in that group I include university students, left-wing politicians, academics that have been in the institution for so long they're basically starting to sprout out of the woodwork like fungi, and the clickbait media. Now, all of these people view war as a struggle between the oppressor and the oppressed. Now, for third-party observers, it's stopped being about, whatever the war was actually being fought over. It's become about the identity of those who are fighting. Now, this means a lot of people are no longer making critical or moral judgments based upon who carried out terror acts, who preaches genocide, whose God tells them to murder the way to a virgin-filled heaven. Their morality is based upon the Marxist view of victimhood. Now, this falls apart when there's two oppressed classes of victims who are fighting, Damian. Tell us about the civil war that you think is shining a light on the hypocrisy.
Yeah, well, it's the Yemeni Civil War, which has been going on for, 9 years, more than 9 years, coming up to 10 years now. And I think that civil war really does shine an incredible light, as you said, on the hypocrisy of the people marching in the streets about the concerns over the deaths of children in Gaza. Now, I'm not, of course, saying that war isn't horrible. It's ridiculous that we even have to make this point clear these days, but it seems as though if you don't call for an immediate ceasefire, you're a child killer. So idiotically simplistic is the black and white world of these people and the way that they think. But we're surrounded by it. We're surrounded by that neo-Marxist way of viewing the world that has seeped into our culture. And I always chuckle when people say, you're overreacting when you talk about Marxism and wokeism and everything and identity politics taking over our culture. But when you see something as serious like this happen, you realize just how dangerous and how insidious and actually how much it actually has taken over our culture, because that this debate could even have the light of day. It's not something you would have ever have thought of many moons ago. There would be no question as to who is in the moral right here. But these days, in a world where we've had this ideology of moral equivalence, the ideology that all morality, all values, all religious ideologies, all ways of thinking are equally valid, and that we're naughty if we don't put all of them on a level playing field. And then you've got on top of that just the endless paradigm of oppressor oppressed, as you said. That's the Marxist lens through which they view everything. Why? Because you've got to get people on your side. You've got to get the people to rise up to have your little revolution. And so you need an oppressed group. And we've seen them do it on every category that they possibly can of identity politics, race, gender, religion, and now age. Of course, they're trying to create this gap between the millennials and the baby boomers. So they're trying to set up that conflict here in Australia between those two groups. That one group is oppressing the other. As you said, in this situation, we've kind of got two oppressed groups, but that's not how the neo-Marxists in the West see it.